Hello again, this is Robert here, the Tech Geek Texas Dad. That's what I'm going to start calling myself now because actually I'm a tech geek because I like a lot of things with technology, iPhones, Apple, things like that. I also live in Texas and I am also a father, so guess you can consider me the Tech Geek Texas Dad from now on, I suppose, even though I have a lot of trouble changing those domain names everywhere else. So what I want to talk to you guys about is Apple had their annual September event. It was on September 14th. And starting on September 17th, which depending on when you're watching the video, you're going to have the pre-orders of the new iPhones. Not the new Apple Watches though, just the new iPhones. And then eventually later on this fall, we'll get those Apple Watches. So every year, Apple in September gives us a keynote, they give it an event, and they go over the new iPhones, the new Apple Watches, and usually they talk about the new software and they give us release dates. Well, this year was kind of a little different. Not only the fact that they're doing everything digitally, so there's no live audiences or anything like that. The fact is, they did give us the new iPhones, sort of gave us the new Apple Watch, and then added 2 more products in there, and failed to give us the release date for the software. So it's kind of an odd thing there. So I want to give you guys sort of a recap, because you guys can go on apple.com right now and you can watch the keynote if you really want to see all the details, because I'm not going to give you guys all the specs and all that here, because you can go to any other YouTuber out there, any other techer out there, and they can give you all the specs. And I'm not primarily a spec man. Primarily what I'm going to do is show you how you can use the new iPhones, the new Apple Watches, the new software in your everyday life, whether you're a parent, father, mother, whether you're a grandparent, whether you're just a student, whatever it is. I want to show you in this channel and in these videos how to do the real life uses of these products, not always the specs that are for professionals and things like that, because not all of you out there are probably professionals. So this is mainly for the dads, the moms, the parents, those kind of things, or anyone else that likes to use the devices. So now Apple normally covers certain things like the previous iOS, they did in WWDC and all that, but they didn't do that this year. This year was a little different. They instead went through their Apple TV Plus. So if you don't know what that is Apple's own sort of TV service, combines all the other streaming services into one, and then Apple has their own original programming. And so what Apple did was they covered their original programming, because we have tvOS 15 coming out, which, to let you know, the release date on that is going to be September 20th. So that depends on when you're watching the video here. And they basically covered a lot of the new originals that are going to come out, new original shows. And that was pretty much it. They didn't cover much. Then following the TV Plus, they went directly into iPad. Now, not the iPad Pro, don't get mistaken. This is the lower end iPad, the lower end. So this is more like the 9th generation of the iPad. They went and covered that, gave us some new specs, some new things, and it's actually the lower end iPad for people who don't have iPads or need it for school. That's what they're going to get, is that iPad. And I thought that was okay. That was pretty good. It's not too bad. I prefer my iPad Pro. Much better. I use it for everything else. The main, let's say, device that they announced was the iPad mini sort of refresh or redesign. Basically, they took the iPad Air and they shrunk it into the iPad mini size. So they gave it all the features that the iPad Air had: Touch ID on the home, sleep wake button. You've got bigger screen, no Face ID, unfortunately. And then, a newer chipset, faster chipset, using Apple Pencil, things like that. So the iPad mini actually became almost one of the stars of the entire keynote. I thought that was pretty neat, because my kids have iPad minis and, well, they work pretty well. They're a little slow in some areas. So the new iPad mini is definitely good. Following the iPads, they jumped into the Apple Watch. Now this is kind of weird, because most of the September events focus a lot on Apple Watch and a lot on iPhones. Well, this time they only did a few minor tweaks to the Apple Watch. They didn't really explain too much. And we knew, due to productions and rumors and things, that this Apple Watch would probably be delayed. We just didn't know when. So once they announced everything about the Apple Watch, which wasn't like the rumors, it was completely different, they said, it'd be available later in the fall. Well, I don't know what that means. Does that mean October? Does that mean November? Does it mean December? So we don't have anything in there to guarantee or say when they're going to release the Apple Watch. Now, here was another funny thing. Following the keynote, I did a sort of a screen share recording for my Instagram channel, and I had in there the Apple Watch 7, giving information about it. A few minutes after that, gone. Not on the Apple Store app, not on the Apple site. There's no more information on the Apple Watch 7. I don't know why they took it off, what's the deal, but it's no longer there. So if you want to see that video, it's on my Instagram account. You can go ahead and check that out over there. I've got all the links to my accounts below. So following the Apple Watch, we went into the meat of the whole keynote, which is the iPhone 13. Now, we're not talking about the Pros yet. This is the 13 mini and the 13, which are the lower end phones, which I don't recommend if you're upgrading to even upgrade to them, because they wouldn't be worth your money. And that's my opinion. You make your decision what you want to do. So they covered the 13 mini and 13 regular. And they've got improvements to cameras, improvements to chipsets, things like that. They are nice and good phones for the average consumer. I don't recommend it, though, for people who want good photos and good battery life, but they are an average phone for that. The last thing they did was the iPhone 13 Pros and Pro Maxes. These are the ones I think that most people should be upgrading to. Yes, they're a little bit more expensive, but they're going to give you better camera, better battery life. Of course, they're going to have the smaller notch, and they're going to be much brighter. You're going to be able to see it much easier in the sun or anywhere else. So the Pros are definitely what you're going to do. And that's what I'm going to pre-order, is my iPhone 13 Pro Max, since I'm using currently an iPhone 12 Pro Max. That is definitely the one I think that people, this is what I call a Pro year. Some people say, oh, it's an S year for the devices. No, I call it a Pro year. This is the year you go from an iPad mini to an iPad mini Pro, pretty much, and then you go from an iPhone to an iPhone 13 Pro Max. This is a Pro year for the devices. Now, iOS 15 will be coming out on the 20th, and all these devices are going to run off of iOS 15. So whatever more updates we're going to get iOS 15, we'll have to wait and see. But pretty much in a gist, that was the whole event that Apple did. So basically, there's two products you need to focus on: the iPad mini and the iPhone 13 Pro or Pro Max. That's it. Basically, the rest of the devices were there as show. The new upgrades or added features to Apple TV Plus and Apple Fitness, added benefits. That's basically what it is. So I will be pre-ordering on the 17th my iPhone 13 Pro Max. Get here on the 24th. I'm not going to do any unboxings or anything. I'm just going to give you guys basically an everyday use of it. How does it work? How's the battery lasting? How fast is it compared to the 12? Those kind of things. How good is the camera? And kind of let you guys know pretty much what I think and how you should be using it on your own. And from there, we'll wait on the Apple Watches. I don't know when those Apple Watches are going to come out. As soon as I see them, then I'll let you know on that. But pretty much it. You're going to get iOS 15, new update for your devices. So make sure you back them up on iCloud. Use the transfer feature. It's so much easier. And we'll get the new iPhone 13s. And we'll go from there and see. But that's my recap of Apple's September event and exactly what they covered and what I think, primarily, if you're going to spend your money on anything, go with an iPad mini if you really want it. If you definitely want a Pro, go Pro. And for the phones, for sure, the iPhone 13, whether it be a Pro or Pro Max, that's your choice. But that definitely a Pro. Don't go with the lower end. You're going to be wasting your money on that. That's all I got for you guys. As soon as my stuff comes in, as soon as I get the updates, I will let you guys know more. And I hope you enjoyed the video here. So we will catch you later with more. Take care and give me a thumbs up, and I'll catch you later with more.